Hi, I'm Melanie, and welcome to week 3 of my challenge. If you're not familiar with the challenge, I encourage you to go back and watch some of the previous videos. Each week I release a grocery video and a meals video. So the groceries obviously shows you what I'm purchasing for groceries that week, and then at the end of the week I post a video showing what meals I was able to make with the groceries. The challenge is $21 per person per week. And the goal for me is to show on a minimal budget what you can accumulate in a pantry over a couple weeks' time. I feel very positive with what we've been able to accumulate so far at the end of week 3, and you'll be able to see that at the end of this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you're so inclined, hit the subscribe button for more videos. Lunch is going to be a simple affair today. We are going to have chicken wraps. I love Mexican food, so we are having fajitas tonight with some of the peppers from my flash food box. I made hopefully a spicy rice. In here I put red pepper flakes, a jalapeno from the garden, onion powder, garlic powder, and cumin and taco seasoning. So we'll see how that turns out. I have broken out the new cheese that I got, the Tex-Mex cheese. So that should give a little kick to our meal. Salsa, guacamole, sour cream, and our shells. Hash browns, bacon, and now that we have baking powder, pancakes. Breakfast for supper this time includes pancakes. Really looking forward to this. It smells delicious. I got a recipe offline that was no milk pancakes, so we'll see how those taste. For the first time, we're using one of our free items, jam that I had made. On my English muffins, I am going to have peanut butter. So I opened up my 99-cent peanut butter, and this is actually called It's Only Nuts Plus Honey All Natural Peanut Butter, and it says stir it and store it upside down. So I'm going to do that, and I bet you it's going to be the best 99-cent peanut butter I ever had. Looking forward to this meal. Bread from the bread maker. I had received some free yellow beans and celery. Here you can see them processed for in the freezer, or they're in the freezer, they're frozen now, for use in future recipes. And I was very fortunate. I also received some green onions. I've processed them and put them in the freezer for future use as well. They'll work fine for a topping on anything that I'm baking. I saw a recipe online that I wanted to try. It was called Crockpot cracked chicken. I had some of the ingredients, not all of them. So this is my version, my frugal version. We put in here a half of the block of cream cheese. It called for the entire block, but I'm saving half of mine for something else. I did top it with the green onions that I had frozen in the freezer. I did make some bacon bits, and we use those. It calls for ranch, powdered ranch dressing. Didn't have any, so we just used a ranch dressing packet that I had in my bag of packets. So we'll see how the whole thing tastes. Looks good. Making cheese from a cheese slice. I placed a cheese slice inside here, lid back on top. The heat from the cooked vegetables will melt the cheese, and there you have a little sauce, nice and cheap. The final result. Leftover chicken and rice and garlic bread. Here is my bag of chicken bones, skins, everything I've been saving to make a small broth, and that's what I'm going to try to do now. I'm going to make a small chicken soup. some stripped chicken here, some broth from when I cooked the chicken, some veggies and spices, and use some of my impulse purchase from the bulk barn, tricolor quinoa. And tonight we are having pizza. I used the last of the pasta sauce. Already you can see on here tomatoes from my garden. We've got the last of the spinach, some cheese, some hot dogs, a little bit of bacon bits, onions, peppers, chicken, mushrooms, and jalapenos from the garden. So we had frost last night. I delayed in getting some of this stuff inside. I don't know if they're ruined. I'm going to do some Googling and some research. I mean, maybe at least I can make something when they're green. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try to salvage what I can. Making some grilled cheese. I'm going to make goulash with the leftover spaghetti sauce. And a trick that we like to do is once the pasta has cooked, we like to put in a couple cheese slices and put the lid back on, cover it. The heat of the pasta melts the cheese, so it gives it a nice cheesy flavor. I'm going to add in some spices. Looking forward. I haven't had goulash in a long time, so it's good. I'm going to try and make breadcrumbs. So from the different loaves that I've made since I started this challenge, I've saved some end pieces out, and I just saved them in a bowl on the counter to get hard. I am going to try to blend them in my little smoothie blender and then perhaps add some spices, and then I will have breadcrumbs and I can expand some of the recipes that I'm making and make some breaded items. So I'm looking forward to seeing if this actually works. And this is the final results for my breadcrumbs. I'm pretty happy with it. I added a bunch of spices in with it, and so now we can have breaded items. I thought this was pretty handy myself. Used some of my flash food items and some of the onions that I had and made some fajita bags to pop in the freezer for future use. Okay, tonight we are having pan-fried haddock and home fries and some kind of vegetable on the side. You can see that I have a couple of my mayo packs set out. I have a few more of these, but I'm going to save them. I'm hoping that I don't actually even need to use all of these. I am going to lightly coat the haddock with mayo. Then I am going to roll it in the breadcrumbs that I made earlier, and then I am going to pan fry it in a pan that is already hot with some oil in it. And we will see how this all turns out. Okay, here we go. I only had to use 1.5 packs of the mayo. I'm going to try to make some kind of a tartar sauce with the remainder. And here we go. Smell it already. The final result turned out pretty good. I can't wait to eat it. After all the week 3 meals are done, this is what we have left over for groceries, fresh items. So we have the cauliflower, some margarine, lettuce, lime juice, 3 of the peppers fresh, 4 apples, 2 avocado, a half an onion. In here is the jalapenos from my garden. There's a half a brick of cream cheese. There's a few of the tortillas left. I still haven't done anything with these squash, so we still have those. Cheese slices, there's 3 eggs left, some brick cheese and some of the grated cheese, milk, maple syrup, about a half a jar left of the honey garlic sauce. I have a bag of carrots, and this is what's left over from my first bag of carrots. Still hanging on, a couple pieces of celery. I've certainly gotten a value out of that. Onions, sour cream, hot dogs, 1 package of the English muffins, some of the bagels. In here is bacon. In here is leftover pizza for lunches, leftover goulash. This is prepared lunches. It is the chicken soup, 2 garlic cloves, and this is that little pack. We were unsure of what it was in that second week when we made the pizza, and we were hoping that it was cheese. It was. I'm sure it's not real cheese. I'm sure it's some kind of processed fake cheese that came in an original pizza pack. But we've been using that on different things. We sprinkled it on the goulash. We had it on the spaghetti. So I'm hoarding that, and there is this much of it left. And then something else happened this week. So another thing that we have available to us now, this is hot sauce. These bottles are new sealed bottles. I have a friend who likes this company and wanted some of her friends to be able to try some of the hot sauce. It is called Marie Sharp's hot sauce. So she did these little sample bottles up and gave them to some of us. So she gave these ones to us. I'm not a huge hot sauce fan, but the other half is. So now we have some hot sauce to try within our pantry items. Freezer items left over after week 3 meals. Some of the chicken strips, 2 packages of the hot Italian sausages, 1 pound of lean ground beef, the salad shrimp, 1 package of the haddock, 1 pork roast, and 1 package of chicken drumsticks, 2 containers of broth that I made. It was like a sweet vegetable broth. We have some of the yellow beans, the celery, and the green onions. The package, this is 1 pork chop diced up for maybe a stir fry, something like that. We have some frozen peas left. We have some frozen broccoli left. We have the 2 packages that I made up for fajita packages out of the peppers that came in my flash food box, as well as some onions. We have my bag of scraps for future broth, and we have the half of a regular size serving, I guess, or a loaf pan of apple crisp. Pantry items left over. In the back there's the chow mein noodles, a can of mushroom soup, the peanut butter. These are the breadcrumbs that I made, and what's left of my Italian seasoning. Onion powder here, the leftover of my taco seasoning here. This is baking soda, baking powder here. The quinoa, Montreal steak spice, red pepper flakes, cumin, rice in the back, still quite a bit of that left, the beef broth, and the olive oil. I have half a bag left of nachos, this much left in here of the macaroni. We still have some brown sugar left, oats tucked in the back there, 1 potato. This is the garlic powder that I made. Flour left, it's getting lower. This will probably be the last week that I get out of this. There's spaghetti in here, and then there is my pie pumpkin, and I still have that squash. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the meals. I thought they were really good this week. I just wanted to touch base on grocery style shopping. Everybody has their own style, and for me, what works is reviewing the flyers in advance to find out what the deals are, where the deals are. I like to deal shop and I like to store hop. So I like to make a list of where I'm going, what stores I'm going to, and pick the best buys out of the flyers. And then I plan my groceries around what I am buying that's on sale and what I already have in my pantry and my freezer at home. That's not the style that works for everybody, but it does work for me. And I've been shopping that way since long before I was doing the challenge. I hope you enjoyed everything, and stay tuned soon for my video on groceries for week 4.